Hello, everybody, and welcome to Just Enough Heshy Show. I thought it would be a minute song. I thought he would play it, but I guess he didn't play it. I want to welcome you to the show. It's only me again this week, which is good. George couldn't make it to the show. He was stuck in Jersey. I wanted him to come on the show, and I wanted him to talk about all the things that are going on in the city, as well as the Trump assassination, and about, yes, I still want to talk about that debate again. I'd like to say hello to my YouTube fans. Hello, Infinite Justice, and I'm Hasidish, and the Jewish Beat is back on. And he asked me an interesting question as well that we'll talk about what he thought my debate, if the debate was rigged and stuff. I mean, it was openly for you to see about it. You know what I mean? What I want to discuss this week is not so much the Trump assassination. We know they want to kill him. We know they want to go after him. We know what they want to do to him. They keep saying that Trump is not able to run this country. He's not responsible. You have a bunch of idiot GOPers that were either thrown out of office and saying he's not responsible. Come on. The man is running billions of dollars. Billions of dollars has gone through his hand. He's hired hundreds of thousands of people in his life. He goes from campaign to campaign. He has more energy than me. I mean, I think he does. Matter of fact, tomorrow he's coming to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, I think. They say it's J.D. Vance. They say it's him. I'm hoping that somebody promised that I'd be able to get to see him and have a quick picture with him and maybe hand him my card. And if so, I'm going to ask him, hey, would you like to do an interview with me? And that would be a great show. That I promise you I'll get a lot of viewers. As you know, and in my startup or my introduction to the show and the postings, I told people that New York City is in turmoil. We are. The mayor has people quitting on him. The mayor is under FBI investigation. His whole staff is under FBI investigation. We have the police coming to stupid civil, this week I'm going to tell you that the other day on Monday I was called to a building where the HPD, and I'm an HPD receiver, is doing emergency repairs. And the owner said, don't do it. We have the building. We're fixing it up. We have a squatter in the building. We paid the squatter. They showed them proof. We paid him $5,000 to leave, and the court told him to leave. He left. After he saw the building vacant, he broke back into the building. Now they had to evict him for another year, so he calls for emergency repairs. The contractor that got in there, I know him, is one of the most worst contractors on the planet. And he's going back there and billing, so I had to stop him. When I went there to stop him, it's a very bad neighborhood. So the owner sent 2 bodyguards with me, or security guards with cops, with guns. I said, I don't need it. My name's Heshy Tishler, but they wouldn't take a chance. They didn't want me to get killed. And I confronted the guy. I said, you're not doing a good job. You can't come into the building. And that is the law. And then the cops came. And the cops said, well, you have to let him in. He has some kind of a work order from a city government agency. I said, so big deal. So big deal. And I whipped out my Constitution as I always did. So, you don't have a court order. And I said, even with a court order, you better submit it to the police first. And you better show up on the date that it's done. The same game they play with us, I played back with them. And I asked the cops, I said, we have murders, and you're going to hear about it, rapes, shootings, robberies, but you're busy with these civil matters. You're busy not controlling the traffic, but you're busy stopping people for traffic tickets. You're busy running to stop people jumping over turnstiles in train stations that we're not making any money anyways. Okay? And you're giving green bike lanes, but you're not interested in stopping crime. People are getting robbed. When somebody calls you, I've been robbed or beaten up, it takes you forever. Or you tell them to go to the police station or make a report. I had a guy who bought a car on Facebook. Stop buying cars on Facebook. Go to a dealer. Go online and buy it from a responsible dealer. Even the used cars. Go to a used car place that has a good reputation. When you start buying this stuff that these guys, they lie to you about the titles. They defraud you. I had a guy, he was defrauded this week. And you know what they did to him? 2 guys were defrauded. One guy was defrauded, and they arrested him for driving a stolen car. Another guy played around with the plates, didn't change the VIN number, or something happened with him. His car got towed because of all the tickets, and the DMV said they're not going to help you. You guys got to be careful out there what's going on. I'd like to welcome all the My listeners from WSNR, welcome to the show. I'd like to, by the way, you missed our introduction. There's a new Just Enough Heshy song. If you go to my Facebook page, my TikTok or X page or Instagram, you'll see the new video with me and the new song. It's a cool song about Just Enough Heshy and about me. Somebody made it up. I don't know who. And a lot of people sent it to me. So I'm using that as my fight vote song, and I made a cute little video, and I think you guys would like it. A lot of people said they heard it before. It was very good. Jason, I don't know what you're saying, but hello, Jason. Hello, and yeah. I know about the police, and we're going to complain about them, even though I'm a big supporter. I'm a big supporter of the Teamsters. Do you understand that? I'm a big supporter, but again, when most of the people in the Teamsters Union are supporting Trump, the head of the Teamsters, you got to listen to this, we're not supporting Trump. What do you mean you're not supporting Trump? What do you mean? If your members want to support Trump, you have to support it. Since the members do it and they're going against, they're not supporting anybody. But the California Teamsters went against their members and supported Harris either. This lady doesn't do any press conferences. Yeah, she made a debate. She was pretty good in it. Why? She practiced. And those people, those moderators, they cheated. They gave her the questions and answers. That is called election interfering. If anything is criminal, right there alone. The man was cheated. He was defrauded. You can't do that. Again, America, you all telling me, Heshy, the presidency, what are we doing about the presidency? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about it because it's a game, and I'm busy right now with New York. I want to tell you something. New York is the greatest city in the world. We have a Wall Street that trillions of dollars pass through every single year. Why can't we do the rest with the city? Why can't we lower the taxes, lower the budget, stop duplicity in these government institutions that are red tape? 2 firemen were arrested, chiefs, for not doing anything bad. They were bribed for moving things along faster, for pushing along the red tape, for giving preferential treatments to big developers. You're right. A guy like me couldn't get it. They didn't do anything illegal. They took their legal paperwork and just pushed it along quicker. Things take a year. Courts take a year. To evict somebody takes 2 years. It's just unacceptable. Criminal cases sometimes can take 5 years. I want to punish them. Now, you're right, I can't punish the judges. I can't fire them. But the city council controls their parking spaces, their budgets, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Take away their money. District attorney, if he stops playing around and stops prosecuting a guy like Harvey Weinstein, the man is sitting in jail forever and he's 72 years old and he can't do anything wrong. Stop it. You have so much other crime to deal with. What are you doing? What are you doing? I want to do a couple of ads. We're going to start, of course, with Green Line Building Compliance and Green Line Building Solutions. I'm located at 202 Forster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. It's on the YouTube screen, everybody, and Facebook and Instagram, whatever. 202 Forster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230, 718-871-0382. People call me all the time, and, I tell people afterwards, I'm not charging you. And I tell them about my campaign to donate, and some people say, well, I can't donate. I will donate. I'll give you later. I tell them you don't have to donate. I'm helping you with your advice. But just remember, I get paid quite a bit of money, and I don't mind being constituents, and I don't mind helping you out. But why don't you be nice to me? They shutting down the sanitation and the police department are so busy with their crime, they're going down 13th Avenue. Now, 13th Avenue, to my listeners and viewers, is one of our main avenues, like our 5th Avenue of New York City. And everything is there. Stores just cost crazy rent. So right before the Sukkot holiday, a lot of young kids and men, or older guys, open up these little booths, like I don't know what you call it, like a block party. And they have all these booths and they sell different religious items for the Sukkot holiday, from posters and the palm trees and the little lemons, the esrigs as we call them, and they make enough money to support their families for quite a bit. And a lot of people try to get very high spots, so they bring their desks and tables and they try to lock them up to the gates. And the police and sanitation are running around and cutting their locks and taking them away and telling them that this year they won't be able to do it. Why? All the other communities in New York City can have vendors and have street fairs. And when we try to apply for a permit, our community board, our Jewish community board, won't help us. Our police are telling them that they will arrest him. I won't let that happen. That I promise. Now, they don't do anything bad. They don't block the traffic. Yeah, people running the street. There's a lot of commotion, but there's so much revenue. And all the street guys and all the stores that are right there are getting so much business from all the people coming. And they want to shut them down, especially the banks. They don't like it, these banks. Well, you banks, listen, be very careful, because I'll make sure that you get fined just like all these other people. One lady had her dresses outside on a coat rack. They took it away and charged her $500. You got to stop that. This is a clean, beautiful, gorgeous, safe, non-robbery community. If you have nothing better what to do with yourself, please go find something what to do. Go find sanitation. Do you know that the sanitation on the Sabbath is going around giving tickets in the Jewish community because they know we can't clean up? Anyways, Green Line Building Solutions, Compliance, 202 Foster Avenue. I help you with your violations. I help you with your court cases. I help you with your vacate orders. Today I had another guy with a stop work order I helped. Yesterday I helped with an inspection. And today I advised somebody how to get and move back into his house. He was just married. He's having his third kid, whatever, but it doesn't make a difference, whatever. He's been with her for a while. A beautiful little couple. And I'm going to fix their problems and help them go. Green Line Building Solutions, 718-871-0382. And with and we also have constituent services. And of course, my campaign, HeshyTishler.com. We're down to $16,000. I can still use your donations. Yes, we know the campaign is about 3 months away. And we know that my competitor will be most likely Simcha Felder, but we'll find out after the Jewish holidays. By the way, next week we're on the air. 2 weeks is the Rosh Hashanah holiday, so I will be taking off. I'm fighting with Linda. I want to go to Florida, but she doesn't let. I said we're going to drive. She doesn't want to go, but I'm begging her to go. I said, Linda, come on, baby. Spend some money on me, you know what I mean? Not on the cheap ties. But we're going to argue about it, and we're going to try to go down, take 4 days, and maybe we'll take the young married couple, which we'll talk about that wedding as well. Again, HeshyTishler.com. $10, $20, $25. Don't be scared to donate to the campaign. HeshyTishler.com, HeshyTishler.com. You want me to win. You want me to go into city council. You want me to stop. You're going to hear about some stupid legislation. Do you know that the city council just approved to look into slavery reparations in New York City? Really? First of all, New York City never had slavery. Never. Maybe in the 1700s or 1600s, but we never had it. And you're right, a lot of slaves did pass through what reparations? We don't have the money even to cover our migrants. You want to give reparations of millions of dollars to great-great-great-great-grandchildren of children that never even were affected by the slavery? Don't get me wrong, slavery was wrong. Slavery was wrong for the Jews. Slavery was wrong for the black people, for the Chinese people, the people that were mistreated. But you can't do that. We got to go forward. People are telling me, oh, look into the future. Today is the future. Right now. I'm not worried about your green future. I want to live now in peace. I want to live a better life right now. Natasha, welcome to the show. She liked the music. I am coming to Florida. Look, my friend Christopher Messi's on the phone. Christopher, you got to take me out to dinner. And I want a good corned beef sandwich like New York. You better find one, Chris. I love him. Anyways, that was HeshyTishler.com. And then, of course, my favorite jewelry guy, which I'm going to go back to because Linda did like her little diamond necklace. It was a small little one. I know that. I didn't spend that much money. Come on, what do you want from me? I'm broke. Do you know how much that wedding cost me? I'm still paying off those credit cards. You know, when the boys were born, I started putting away $20, $30 every week for their bar mitzvahs and their college education. And after a couple of years ago, after I married off the boys, we were broke. I don't even know how we did it. And me and Linda every week put away $200, $300. When I made a little extra money or some extra funds came in from a big job I did, me and Linda put it away, and we were ready for the boys' college. He took out student loans, and we paid them all off. And when the wedding came in the apartment, I can't believe I made a beautiful wedding with my my sons-in-laws. They helped out, and we made a beautiful wedding, an all-night schmorg. I don't know if I told you that. You know, when you come to a wedding and you come late and they serve the meal an hour and a half later, I don't like people standing around getting hungry. So I had the meal go through the ceremony, through when you came in. I wanted you to eat. I wanted you to relax and go home whenever you want. And the dessert table was there. It was a beautiful wedding, a beautiful ceremony. There was a little problem with the microphone, but then they fixed that. But I'm telling you, the boy's happy. Then we had the celebrations of 7 days. I was exhausted. I rested up over the weekend. And I'm back to work, and I'm rocking and rolling, and I'm helping out, I'm fighting. And I'm going to make sure that those guys on 13th Avenue are going to be able to sell their stuff. Nobody's shutting them down. I'd love to see the police try it. They can't just do whatever they want. They can't, and you'll see. I'm going to videotape it. You just keep watch out, because if they try to do that, they better arrest me, and I'm going to have bodyguards. I will go head-to-head with them. Let's go head-to-head. Now, I love you, 66 Precinct, but if you're doing anything illegal, anything to stop my right to pursue happiness, a right to create my own living, I'm allowed to be street vendor. I don't need a permit for 3 days. Anyways, I want to talk about the Estate Exchange, wonderful place, fine jewelry and rare estate pieces, specialist in the exchange of fine metals. He's located at 5303 12th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Just a great guy. 5303 12th Avenue. His website is www.nyc-gold.com, nyc-gold.com, and his number is 917-721-0119. 917-721-0119. Let's do my quote and joke for the day. And here's a good quote. Wonderful quote. I like it before the holidays. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. Famous quote. And I do not pray for easy life. I pray for me to be a stronger man. I want to learn. I want to be strong. Not strong in the physical strength, strong in the being of my mind. Of course, physically strong as well. But I want to be strong in accepting so much sadness, so much goodness. I want to be stronger into making other people's lives better. You know, sometimes we give up. Sometimes I want to give up. So many times do I want to give up. Even after the last campaign of people cheating me, I wanted to give up. I swear to you, I wanted to give up. And thank God I didn't, and a lot of people talked me out of it. And people still today make fun of me. I have young kids from some certain schools. I don't even want to tell you, a lot of them are Syrian kids, that their parents, these rich parents, gave them my number. And they call me 1, 2 in the morning talking bad about killing my wife, my children, and talking bad things. These are children, and some of their schools are in some holy neighborhoods. And it's terrible what they do. Not that I care. I make fun of them back. I laugh, sometimes I just don't pick up the phone. But this is what we teach our children. And when we teach our children not to be good or respectful, of course they're going to turn off bad. Of course they're going to do drugs. Of course, if we don't watch them and be with them, I know what it is to raise a child. And the reason I tell you is because Kamala Harris never had her own children. She had her husband's children. Now you can say, oh, she couldn't have children. I don't know if she could have or couldn't have, but she's nobody to teach me how to raise children. She's nobody to tell me about abortion. She's nobody to tell me how to live the American dream, because it's our job to take care of other people's children. She's never done it. She's never supported it. I've never seen it. Look through most of her bills. I don't see anything really special for the kids. Now, all of a sudden, she's vice president. She's doing something. What has she done? I don't see anything for New York. I don't see any aftercare programs. I know what you're going to laugh at me about the debate. I don't really care. Trump won the debate. She was very well prepared. And you had the moderators who cheated. But let's forget about that. Have you seen her do another press conference? Because she can't take questions off the cuff. I mean, come on, everybody's done press conferences, even Biden when he messes up. She's not ready to be president. She's not ready to be the commander-in-chief. She hasn't answered questions about the army, the war. She was telling people that there hasn't been any wars and no soldiers are stationed anywhere else. And then I saw a video of these soldiers that are stationed in war zones in other areas and other places of the world laughing. What are we? She doesn't care about our army. She doesn't care about our people. I want to tell you my joke. I hope you laugh at it. I think it's funny. I had a raffle recently that I won, and not recently, it was many, many years ago, but when I won the raffle, I sat my boys down, and it was a big toy that was won. And I sat down and I said to the boys, okay, here we go. Who should have this present? I said, who is the most obedient? And all my boys were quiet. They didn't know which of them or what that meant even. And I said, who's the most? I said, and they all sat with me. They all stared back to me in silence. And I said, who never talks back to their mother? And all of a sudden they were mystified at this question. Like, they talk back to their mother. And then I asked the most important question: who does everything that mom says? And then the kid said, Dad, you should get the toy. Yes, I do everything that woman wants of me. Okay. Anyways, let's start with something simple. Sean Diddy Combs, in New York City, we arrested him. Is he such a big criminal that nobody knew about it? They have him in jail with no bail, then a bail package. I mean, is he really a murderer? No, he had sex trafficking. We knew about this all along. Now, did he do it recently? They say he influenced witnesses. They don't even show you the evidence they have against him. Nothing. They keep doing this. They keep controlling. They're not out to get the murderers, the people who rape, the people get out right away who are abused or beating other people. Here you go, you're going after a star. Now, we see what Sean Diddy Combs did every day. Did he do all of this? I mean, he had sex parties and drug parties, I guess so. But did he break the law? Because I didn't see it. The world didn't see it. They must have some evidence that he's a gangster. But the gangsters get away with it. Come with me to the Bronx. There's like a 10-block area of shootings and gangsters that the cops are scared of. Anyways, again, President Trump is coming tomorrow to Williamsburg. And to what I understand, it's President Trump. And I'm hoping to get to him. And you guys should all wish me luck. If I get to him, I'm going to tell him to get on the show. And if he comes on my show, we would have a great chat. Me and him, I don't care if it's 10 minutes. You guys would really have a good time because I know how to talk to my friend. Not my friend. I wish he was my friend. But I know how to talk to him. And I know that he watched a lot of my show and a lot of my little videos. And I will tell him about the mayor. I'll tell him how much trouble his city of New York is in. I will tell him that we need a change. We need to stop this city council. The city council keeps bringing stupid legislation into effect. Stupid. Just it doesn't end with them spending our money. I mean, I don't really believe in mass deportation. A lot of the people we should check out, we should vet. I went into a building this week in the city. They made me take out my ID to enter the building. They made me take out my ID. I went into the hospital and they took a picture of me. I went to the fire department and they made me stand there and they took a picture of me just to enter to make an appointment in the main fire expediting place. But to go vote, you don't need ID. I'm going to meet Trump. I was supposed to meet him on January 6th, and on my way there, they stopped me. Maybe that was good. Maybe that was bad. I didn't get in trouble. The fire department people that I was telling you about, did they take bribes by pushing the paperwork up? The city of New York is, again, I'm trying to explain to all of you people, each agency, and we have 300 government agencies, and each agency has units within units. And you got to fight with one unit, and the other unit tells you something else. Friday, I had an inspection to lift a stop work order. Everything. We followed every rule, every compliance. They held this building down since 2017. Everything was perfect. And the inspector, I like him. He seemed calm, but that's how they play the game. Came there giving a hard time. But everything, he couldn't find nothing. Then he said to me, in the basement, you ripped down the walls, which was they told us to do. He says, but you didn't have a permit. I said, but it was done before we got there, and you see that it wasn't done by us, and you see that the walls didn't belong to. It was just some partitions, not the main walls. And they left the outer wall framing, which is allowed to be there to do sheetrock repair and replace. That's the rule. The inspector wouldn't lift the stop work order. I said, why? He says, well, you might put back the walls. I said, so you're accusing me of doing a crime or will do a crime? I'm allowed to have that there. No, we want you to rip it down. If you put it back later on, we don't care, but we don't want to see that you could do it. Isn't that stupid? Anyways, he lifted the rest of the stop work order that I'm able to do work on the other parts of the building. That was the main thing. And I had to amend the plans. He says, oh, you can do it in 2 days. I said, the way the building department works, it takes 2 months. You're going to keep these people out of business and give them more fines, and it'll cost them more money to leave the shed up. And here's the best part. We did the electrical in a certain legal manner. To plug the electric into the building, we had to run a special extension cord. It's a wire. It's a waterproof extension cord. He came out and gave us a violation. I said, just wait an hour, we'll change it. Or come back, we'll put the metal piping there, but it's not really possible to do it and it's not required. He wrote a violation. I said, but you came here to lift a stop work order, not to violate again, not don't open the job up. And this is what they do, violation after violation after violation. Somebody had a fire in their building. Instead of telling them to vacate or fix the property, they issued them 5 violations. Oh, downstairs in the basement was an illegal wall. Nobody used it. It was storage room. How do you know it was illegal? Well, it could have been used this way. 5 violations. And forget what they have to fix up the building, the $10,000. And now they're taking the fines. If you don't pay it quick enough, they put it on your taxes. Why? If you don't have the money to pay the fines, big deal. They can't do anything to it. It'll earn interest. And when you sell the building or refinance, you have to pay it. Now they're putting it on your taxes. And let me tell you why they're doing this. If you don't pay it, they put a tax lien on your building after a year. Then they sell the tax lien at 25 cents on the dollar, and somebody else collects it and forecloses on you. This is what they do to you. Your city are the biggest gangsters and mobsters in town. Your police officers, some of them, and a lot of them are good, I love the police, are gangsters when they're way up on top as chiefs. They work for their friends. I don't know what to tell you. I love the police, but they're being run terribly. Caban resigned. Mayor had 3 more people that resigned from his administration. Something's going on. I sure don't want Cuomo. And even the guy, Shapiro, the deputy mayor. What an idiot. Why is he still there? I told you that I know for a fact he went to certain rabbinical schools and organizations telling them who to vote for. Election interference, and threatened them to put DOB and DOH and DOT against them if they don't follow his rules. That is called bribery. Right there is called bribery. Influence. Let's see, I'm going to ask a question. The hostages. The United Nations today said that Israel has to leave Palestine within the next 12 months. Who the hell do they think they are? Murderers, killers. We're not leaving there. We're not giving it back to Hamas. They all have to be killed. They actually murder. I'd like to see you have 6 people murdered right here in New York, shot in the back of the head, and we tell them the gangs to go. Maybe it would happen. But this is how lawlessness is. You can't do that. Who does the UN think they are? Why don't you send your peacekeeping force in there and let them be in the middle? Because the United Nations is scared. We withdraw, Israel withdraws, Hamas comes again. Hezbollah comes again. Everybody says Israel was a genius with the beepers. This is a terrorist organization, the Hezbollah. We tricked them with beepers, and we blew them up. They were supposed to be killed anyways, other people around them. So you see that the Hezbollah is they integrate with their population so to protect themselves. They're not soldiers. They're lowlifes. And we cover for them. Cuomo, anyways, Cuomo's brother's an idiot. I don't care if he's better or not better. Anybody with the name Cuomo, I have no respect for whatsoever. And he's not going to be my mayor. There's no way. You're going to watch. I even told one of the leaders of the Republican Party after they screwed me, you can go do whatever you want, but you're not coming into my neighborhood. They said, we'll show you, we'll come. I'd love to see them. Watch my videos. I never will let them rally or demonstrate, except for Trump. Yes. He can come. He's not one of those double-crossing bad people. Anyways, I want to talk about something else. We have all these government agencies that do nothing. Really, I walk up there and I stand there sometimes and I see them do nothing. And then you have agency within agency. So when you submit paperwork, it can sit there for a year. It's just not right. Some judges just ignore stuff or go home early or take vacations. You're doing plan examinations, and the examiner disappears for a month or vacation. Why don't you turn your files over to somebody else? In my office, if somebody goes away, we have somebody replacing them or handling the account. Just imagine I would shut down accounts in the middle of the year and tell my client, well, we're going on vacation. There's nothing I could do. Yes, when the holidays come, we shut down, but that's like every place. But just imagine that I just take off and I tell them, well, you know what? Too bad, I'm leaving. I took your money and have a good life. This is what the city of New York does. So we are desperate to do whatever it takes. And the big developers have the big money. We little people have to suffer and struggle. That's why I do what I do, because they try to screw me. They try to cheat me. I just paid my taxes again. I mean, they just raise it and keep raising it. There's nothing I could do or nothing to argue. And if I argue it, it costs me more money. So even if I do argue and I win, I just blew 8 years of tax money fighting to get back 1 year of tax money. And when I get it back, anyways, it's going to be raised. You can't beat them. 600 brand new cameras, which are all illegal. Something I'm going to fight when I get to city council. First thing I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop those cameras. Heshy, you can't do it. I'm going to find a way to do it. I want you to know something, that they're still protesting in New York City. The cops are busy coming out and arresting us for turnstiles or having street tables on the street selling my lemonade or a sorghum or, the Jewish items, or trying to make a quick buck for 2-3 days while they let these protesters run the streets and stop the city of New York. Anyways, somebody's really spamming my site. We're going to have to knock you off. You better stop that. But what we have to understand, that we have to live in peace of this future. And I'm not here to preach to anybody. I'm telling you the troubles in the world. I'm telling you the issues that have to be resolved. I'm telling you that we have to get together and go out and vote. People tell me, I voted for you. I said, how could have you voted for me if you don't live in my district? A lot of these kids from the 13th Avenue are coming to me to help them out. Young men are trying to come help them out. I said, why didn't you support me when I helped you 2 years ago and 3 years ago and 4 years ago? So one of them answers, well, I wasn't around 3 years ago. What about last year and the year before? Where were you then? Well, Heshy, you help us now, we'll give you donations. I said, listen to me. How does that work? Well, if you help us, we'll help you. I said, but I've been helping you. And you lie. We don't lie. I don't need you to help me back for what I do for you. I want to help you. I want to get to the finish line. I have some people in jail that can't get kosher food. Or when they give them kosher food, they give them a can of sardines and bologna. Really? You have a man sitting in jail 3-4 months till he gets to the main jail. They don't care. They're prejudiced. It's not only the Jews, okay? But again, we have a corrupt system. And of course the inmates are going to get angry at the corrections officers. Of course, corrections officers have to deal with bad criminals all the time, and they go home and most of them take it out on their wives. 50% of correction officers are divorced. 50%. Police officers, 35% I saw are getting divorced. If you can't do the job, get out. Do it correctly. Treat inmates correctly. I remember there was a Latino corrections officer, and wow, he's good to the prisoners. Prisoners loved him, treated him. He treated them with respect. They loved him. Not that he did something better for them. He treated them kindly. He took care of their issues. He watched them. That's what you have to do. I understand they committed a crime, but everybody in their own place. The Teamsters, I want to get back to that. If your group of people tell you to vote one way, I also want to show you about corruption and about what goes on with these big people in charge. It's not the unions. Their leaders are not allowing to be endorsing because their people are not following their way. People are standing up to their unions. People are standing up to their leaders. When I went to pitch my campaign to the police union, and they finally gave me to pitch it, and I did everything right, they said, well, we're not endorsing anybody. I said, but I'm the endorsing. Well, you're a loose cannon. I said, everything you wanted, I told you. My opinions and my goals and my history of supporting the police have been the same. I have a history, I have a future, I have a past, and I'm telling you exactly what we're going to do. And they didn't want to support because they didn't want to look bad. They didn't want to bet on a loser. If you would have supported me, I would have won. If you would have come out to help me, I would have won. This is corruption too. This is when you put people through the red tape or through the ringer, or you don't give them the support. When you're giving everybody else the Section 8, or when you're giving everybody else the food stamps, and you're not giving it to our people. When you're telling people, hey man, you better pay your tickets right now, we're going to tow your car. A guy whose car was booted with tickets that were not his, he showed it to them. He told it to the DMV. He explained it to the marshal. They said, we don't care. Pay it, go fight it, and get a refund. I don't have $2,000, he tells them. Too bad. We're going to tow your car in 3 days if you don't pay for the boot. What the hell? Really? He didn't even get a letter in the mail. They saw that the mailing address was wrong. So if he goes to court, he'll get it to miss. Now they towed his car. It's another $1,000. Until he gets his refund, could be a year. People give up. The city gets millions of dollars in lost refunds requests. Millions. I don't know where this money's going. I don't know who's in control of this money. Oh, God. Somebody is spamming my site. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I don't know. Iran. Here we go. Russian collusion, European. Now Iran has hacked the Donald Trump items and offered to give the information to the Biden campaign. 3 people. Iran is getting involved into the election. You know that they're scared of Trump. You know he's going to get them. And the government found out about it. What did they do about it? Nothing. Nothing. I don't know, guys. It's time for us to stand up for ourselves. It's time to make a change. I don't know what to tell you about the presidential campaign. Of course, I want Trump to win. I think he'll make, and I think there'll be more money in New York. But why don't we fix New York? If we have the greatest, most powerful, money, profitable division in the world, why can't we get more business here? We can lower the taxes. We can lower the property taxes. All we have to do is bring in more business, more revenue, more tourists. We bring it in. We can do it. We used to do it. But we're not doing it. For some reason, we're holding the people down. We're making them be poor. We're making them feel with no strength. We're taking away their strength that we want them to give up. We want them to be beneath the most powerful people. They want to control us. They want to live in these beautiful mansions, like a lot of these drug cartel. They take over these crappy towns. All the people are living in squalor, but they live in these big mansions. They live in these big mansions and crappy little towns because everybody else should feel beneath them, to serve them. And we can't allow that in New York City. We can't. Every borough should be top of the line. When I was in East New York, I felt embarrassed. People had gates like you've never seen before, like jails to protect themselves. And they're illegal, by the way. But the police are scared to go there. The building department is scared to go there to enforce it. Why? Because they know they'll get in trouble. They'll know they get in trouble, and that's not good. I want you to know I saw a video of Donald Trump during 9/11, going down to the 9/11 to the World Trade Center, and he went to visit 100 of his workers that he sent down there to be volunteers, while a lot of other businessmen did not do it. I just want you to know that, yes, I will, Natasha, fix that. I don't know, we'll get rid of that guy who's spamming us. I apologize to my people on the YouTube chat site. There's somebody really spamming. I don't know what to do about it because I'm in the middle of the show, but maybe my producer will fix that, but we'll get rid of him. But again, I want to show you that Donald Trump went down to 9/11, sent his workers, spent money, gave millions and millions of dollars to people of widows, has helped the fire department. And you're telling me he's not competent? You're telling me he hasn't done good? The man has run businesses. Billions of dollars has gone through him. Like I told you in the beginning of the show, millions, hundreds of thousands of people have worked for him. He's generated not income, but trickle-down income for other people. He's run this country in the past. What has Harris done? Nothing in the Senate. Really, as a prosecutor, stupidity. As a senator, zero legislation. Zero. None of her bills have ever passed. This is the president that you want for the United States? I'd even take Hillary over her. And I hated her. Let us go to, I talked about the slavery thing, as you all know about that part. I mean, come on. Where are we getting that money? And I want to tell you something. New York City is a great city. We have a division called the Landmarks Division. They take entire communities and landmark it. It means we can't fix our windows or doors, and if we do, we have to do it with the same material. Are you crazy? I understand if we have a landmark building 200 years old, but a landmark neighborhood or a house that is in decrepit shape, it should be knocked down. It should be changed. We should build better housing. We are creating landmark buildings and landmark houses that should not be landmarked. We don't need the New York City of 100, 200 years ago. That was all cute. They weren't even good. We need new, more efficient, modernized buildings. Oh, you want solar? Put your solar there. But solar doesn't work. Solar doesn't work. Let me just tell you about that right now. I don't need the big green stuff like that. Today I saw a beautiful Tesla truck. I was jealous. Gorgeous. It's beautiful. I just scared of it because I know that the battery will run out or something will go wrong with it. But I really look so cute. It looked like, my wife says, oh, it's ugly. It's like a matchbox. It's terrible. I loved it. I always wanted a Hummer, and that looked like a Hummer to me. Anyways, that's something a buy thing. We have to discuss what's coming up. Number one, it's, I think, 50 days away from the election. Whoever's not registered, get registered. If you know your friend is not registered, get him registered. And, I tell people in my neighborhood, you didn't vote for me. You're not registered. It's not possible you registered if only 800 people came out for the Republican primary. It's not possible that only 5,000 people in a community of 330,000 people came out to vote in the general election. And it wasn't just for me. There was a lot of other elected officers up for run. It doesn't make sense that you guys are just so lazy that you can't do the most greatest duty in the world, which takes you 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Go to the polls. And most likely those polls are 1 block, 5 blocks, 10 blocks away from you? You can go from 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night? For what? For 4 minutes, 5 minutes? You're right, they're cheating, they're doing it wrong. We need to rehaul our election process campaign, how it's done. We can't have the same people every single year running those polls because we know that there's a gimmick. When I was running for city council, the head of the Republican Party, Ted Gura, and I like him, told all the Republican workers they have to vote for my competitor. He actually told his poll workers, if you want a job again, you got to vote for Heshy's competitor, who's a Democrat. Do you believe that? We know for a fact. And here's the problem. They kept telling the people or hinting to the people or helping them. My sister came to vote with me that we never missed a vote. My sister Esther has been voting with me since she's a little girl. They couldn't find her card, but they saw that she was registered. So they made her fill out an affidavit. They wouldn't let me help her. They helped her. I don't even know how they filled it out with her. You can't do that. You got to help us, but we have to be smart enough to do that. My problem with the election, the election campaign process is that there are people in charge that it's like all government agencies. Board of Elections is a corrupt agency. Need to stop them. They're like a bunch of brothers and sisters. I've been to a few meetings of local pollsters and local people telling their people, well, you're going to get 9 days of work, 10 days of work. You're going to get 200 and 400 a day for this part-time work. They have people there who are not qualified. There's one guy who has mental issues, and they have him closing the machines with his mother, who got him a job for the $200 a day there or the 9 days there, helping count the votes. And he messes up the machines. I remember one year we shut off a machine and all the votes came out zero. It was impossible. So many people were going. It was one of our busiest voting places. This is not corruption. You're so busy arresting the fire department guy moving paperwork ahead, which is wrong. And you're so busy sending the police officers for civil problems or a fight when you should be sending them on crime. The marshals are busy towing cars instead of evicting the people. The people that are screwing us landlords and tenants and homeowners and the people who are squatting, those are the people you should go after. Instead, the marshals are busy towing cars and taking away our cars because we didn't pay our tickets fast enough. Or some of those tickets are illegal. Those camera tickets. I promise you, I got 2 tickets. I saw it. I saw the cameras flash. There was nothing I could do about it. And you're right, it was a 25-mile-an-hour zone. It went down to 15 and went back up. And the light, as it was bumper to bumper traffic, so if you don't cut into the crosswalk, the kids keep cutting in front of you. You never move, so you got to cut yourself up. And what happens? You get a ticket for the red light camera. When I'm trying to make a right turn, I try to get into the right lane, and it's a bus lane now. They have special bus lanes that we're not allowed to drive in. So if I'm in the bus lane too long or my blinker goes off, another ticket or $115 tickets. And there's nothing you could do to fight it, and who has the time to go fight it? Garbage cans, a new rule. What's wrong with, they asked us to get black garbage bags. Don't use cheap garbage bags anymore. So everybody has the heavy duty. We put it out. It's easier for the garbage men to pick up and throw in. Now they say, no, put it into cans. We put it into cans. You got to have covers. The garbage men rip off the covers, go get a new can, another $55, $75. And they just keep coming after with new rules and new regulations. And you're right. Heshy, it's only $50. It's only another $100. It's only another $25. All this adds up. At the end of the year, my tickets come out to be with all the garbage problems and extra money spending. I spent an extra $5,000. That's an entire sushi bar for a whole night for 600 people. I'm laughing because that's what it costed me. $3,500 plus an extra man and cleanup for the entire night. I had sushi the whole wedding night. It was great. That sushi bar was the best. It was the only thing I was able to eat from. I got a couple of pieces, and they even had caviar, the kosher caviar. Oh, so delicious. I'm telling you, I'm making my own lox now, and I'm going to try to figure out a way how to, I don't know, get that caviar and make some nice hors d'oeuvres with it. I'd like to discuss a very other serious point. You have a problem with sex trafficking in New York City, which I have a very serious problem with molestation. You have a problem with people, bringing children or families from other countries and using their children. And now these people are willing to do whatever it takes. Yeah, they're willing to be sex traffickers. They're willing to do whatever it takes. Somebody put on the subscribe only mode. That's good. I don't know who did that. I hope that was the producer. I guess because nobody's able to make comments. Producer, let them comment, producer. I know that spammer was no good. Just take him off of line. I want my people to comment, and I apologize to our people on the chat that we have a spammer on there. Like I told you, there's always some kid doing something bad, and what should I do? We're not going to beat him up. My point that I lost a little track and direction is, you have people, you legalize sex in New York City and in Las Vegas and other states. You legalize drugs. You legalize it. Now, some people are allowed to sell sex, some people are allowed to sell drugs, and the other people are not. People come here, we know that they sell they don't have money, and it's a shame what we do to our children. It's a shame that these people take advantage of these women or young men. But you teach the world to do it. You teach them to go to whorehouses. I'm going to tell you something. When I was working in construction, I think I went into easy about 200-300 whorehouses. Oh my God, Heshy, you did something bad. No, some of these buildings have these high class places of where ladies. Some people have these low classes, like a lot of the minority areas. They don't have the high class places, but everybody's got to go, I guess, and they have these holes in the wall. And I had to fix up a lot of their buildings. And a lot of times the madam or the bodyguards wouldn't let us in. Or if they did let us in, something, my guys were scared or they could have been hurt. So I had to go and follow to change the toilet bowl because it was a government contract. Or I had to go in and be there when the repairs were being done because I didn't want my men to get hurt or accused of anything. Sometimes they were just sitting there naked, drugged up, and we had to be careful. And yes, I did go in. I tried not to look, but it was dangerous. And you think that it's not existing. It's all over the city of New York. All over. And sometimes the police look away. They must know it. The building knows what's going on. They're selling drugs. I once bought a building that the store downstairs had a drug dealer. And the cops came after me as the owner to get rid of him. I said, here are the keys. Go in, break in, do whatever you want. He's a drug dealer. He's doing bad drugs. You're responsible owner to a victim. I said, but it takes a year to get him out. We don't care. But you have no problem coming after me if I'm standing on the street blocking an HPD guy to come into my building. You have no problem arresting me when I'm going and trying to sell my products on the street or protesting like the other things because I'm weak. I'm willing to give in. Well, I'm going to show you my strength. I'm going to get into city council. I'm going to show you my strength. I'm going to fight. I'm getting angry. I'm not bitter. I'm getting angry to the fact that nobody's doing anything. Nobody's changing. You have people in that city council who are quiet. I have people telling me, I called my assemblyman, I called my councilman, I called my state senator. You have a state senator that you have not heard a word of, Simcha Felder, not a single word. Tell me one of you have called him and he's done something for you. I'm talking my neighborhood. He's going to run for the city council and he's going to get votes. Just like Harris. Tell me something that she's done, something so great for the economy, for the poor. What big-time drug dealers that she claims she put away? And this is who's going to be our president. I don't believe she's going to win. I think she's going to get crushed, but I'm scared for a moment that she even has a chance. That's the problem. That we chose, that half of America chose her to represent her. They couldn't put up a better candidate. So many other candidates. And a guy like even Gavin Newsom, who I think is a complete idiot, we'll look at California. He's still better than her. But he had to toe the line so he can get the next round or his future. What future? I'm living from paycheck to paycheck. I'm living day to day. I'm trying to keep my children in school without getting beaten up or tortured. Public schools are one of the worst places, and you have 11% that know how to read and write. Yeshivas are not that way. No crime, zero murder, zero rapes. Yeah, every once in a while we have a story. Nothing I can do about that. We have wackos all over the place. But you got to take care of your children. You got to be on top of them. You can't just dump them in school. You can't just hire teachers who are incompetent, who just want to come to work and go home and get their paycheck. There's so many good teachers. There's so many good rabbis, so many good priests, so many good imams. That's my point that I'm trying to make to you. And yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you, Infinite. It's called Places of Ill Repute. Ill Repute, is that what it is? Ill repute, I'm sorry. That's the proper way to say it. Place of ill repute. And I'm ashamed to tell you that I've been in there and what my eyes have seen throughout my lifetime and sometimes I had to keep my mouth shut, especially when I was in minority neighborhoods and the gangs came to me, or they had coalitions of tenants associations that some of them were bad, but they were telling me, if you leave these gang members alone or these coalitions alone, we'll let you work. I said, but I'm entitled to do the job. I'm trying to make your lives better. They said, if you don't leave them alone or you don't hire from them or don't give them a kickback, we're not going to get a better life. I shook my head. I didn't know what to say. If you bump into their drug dealers, I remember one time I was working in a building and the two cops chased in and ran in after a drug dealer. And they jumped him. And out of his shirt fell I would say easy a kilo of cocaine. And I picked it up and I was holding it on my clip, but I never held cocaine in my life. And the cops, I beat them up. It was not good, but I watched. And when they were leaving, I handed them the bag. It's just like, this is what goes on in this. It's not like something that's hidden or behind the scenes. It's on the street. You see them selling the drugs in the street. So now what you did was you're legalizing, you're taking them off the street and putting them into the stores. I'm watching little kids smoking marijuana. I'm watching little kids 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning in boarding schools with the rabbis don't care, giving them telephones, or you parents allowing them to make prank phone calls, threatening to kill people's wives or rape them or beat them or make accusations. Oh my God. I get emergency calls in the middle of the night. Somebody's arrested. I help them out. So when I get a call from one of these kids, I pick up the phone. I call back. Oh, you called us to threaten us. I thank God I record all my conversations. I try to track some of their numbers. But again, what am I going to do to them? Have a 16-year-old kid arrested even though I could? I had one kid was arrested for going after a rabbi day after day, cutting his gates, causing him trouble. Finally, he got arrested for some mischievous activity. That's all they were able to get on a misdemeanor. I had one lady who went to the city and she was playing with labels in a store, and they arrested her. Oh, you're changing labels. She says, no, I'm not. I'm checking the labels. Oh, we saw you rip the label off. She didn't steal anything. She didn't take anything. Again, they got her. Now, maybe she did do something, but I don't know the whole story. But what I understand is there's video on it, and she didn't do it. We're busy with stupidity in this town instead of going after the serious criminals, serious robbers, and putting people in jail and keeping them in overnight and going through the system and sometimes two-day system when you have people who are abusers, robbers, getting out the next day. I want to say goodbye to my listeners in WSNR, WPVID, and WNEW FM HD32. Thank you for joining our show and listening to the show. And to the rest of you guys, holidays are coming. It's time to repent. I'm talking to myself now. I am going to do better. I am going to repent. I'm going to figure out ways to do good. You know, people talk bad about me. They should be curious in what I do. I don't know. They talk bad about me. Maybe I am bad, but maybe I became bad because of all the bad things you say about me that I never do. I mean, you can't prove anything I do anything bad. You see that I'm open book, and I like to be that way because I see how other politicians do things behind the scenes. I see how they hide it. So I've always been into the reality. I love reality shows. I love Survivor. When I started doing Expediting, I wanted to create a show called The Expediters, where me and my partner go to the building department and show you the stuff. The building department says, you can't film in here. Why? Why can't I film in a public place? Why can't I film in a civil courtroom? Not talking even a criminal. But when the O.J. Simpson case came on and all the high-profile rich networks wanted to film the murder trial, gruesome stuff being brought up, they were allowed to film. Me to go into a courthouse for an election campaign or to film my civil matter of somebody cheating me or owing me money, I'm not allowed to film that. It's against the law. Are you crazy? But they have cameras they're filming, but we can't even get those cameras. Even with a FOIL request, you'll see that you won't get it. FOIL is Freedom of Information, information. It's just not fair what the government can do, and when you get up there, they keep their positions forever. I believe in term limits. I believe in term limits for commissioners. I believe in term limits for police officers. There's a certain amount of years you can be a police officer. Yes, you must retire at 65. You must retire when you hit your 20th year of pension. Oh, we have nobody else to take over the job. Now listen to me very clearly. Having a 65-year-old overweight police officer is not what I want. Having a police chief that can't work on the streets is not what I want. Sure, I want somebody with brains to be a police chief who came through the system. But I want somebody fit. I want all my police officers fit. Don't be a police officer. Then you tell me, Heshy, well, there won't be enough law enforcement. Incorrect. We pay more money by not having waste, by not having two people sitting in the main room doing nothing. I'm telling you, you have 5 government agencies that all do the same thing. I mean, I don't know how many other agencies are like that. But I'm going after the 5, 6 government agencies the minute I get into power. The minute I get into some position of authority. I'm going after the DOB. I keep telling you, the DOT, the DOF, the DOB. Hateful. I want them, and they're all duplicit, and I see them. I know you guys don't understand, but I watch how when I go there and they keep me waiting 2, 3, 4 hours to submit a piece of paper. They put it on the bottom. I called them a day or two late. It's not processed yet. We're busy. The lady's not here. The chief didn't come in today. I swear to God. He'll be in tomorrow. I called tomorrow. Chief is not in. He couldn't review it. So you shut my job down in 10 minutes. The inspector writes me a violation. I go through 6 months of process to open it up, to comply. All you have to do is sign a piece of paper that it's opened. We've given you the paperwork to submit. And you know what they do? It takes a week, 2, 3, 4 months. I even have a judge that I helped, and I cleared up all the problems. We complied. We finished. We moved everything. They forgot one of the little lines, a little violation on there. Now, it's no effect to her whatsoever, but it hurts her bank by showing it that she can't get a refinance for a little bitty line. It's already been a week of emails, of calls. I'm talking, she hears me pushing the redial button hour after hour after hour, called the real-time unit. They do not pick up the phone. There are other units that do. The Department of Building, 802-3685, 718-802-3685. Please, somebody call that number tomorrow. Tell me after 60 calls that you're not upset that you got through. Then they put you on hold. And if God forbid they hang up on you, you're never getting through again. And HPD, never do they pick up the phone and none of their messages are ever answered. Never. I'm going to say goodnight to all of you. I want to thank you so much for listening to my show. Thank you for joining me ranting and raving one more time. Next week will be a super show because I have some really guests coming on, and maybe I can get Trump on my show. And if I do that, you guys better tune in. And then the following week I'll be away for praise, and I'm going to pray for New York City. I'm going to pray for the greatest city in the world to get better. And maybe God will listen to my praise because I'm having a good year. It was rough for a couple of months, but my son getting married, Linda was injured. She's getting better, slowly, but she's getting there. And I now have an empty bedroom where I can put a pool room. How much better could life be? No, I tried to get a pool table and it's never going to help him.